Since 1636, when the first militia regiments were organizing in Massachusetts, the National Guard has grown to over 450,000 current members that serve every U.S. state and territory. From Lexington and Concord to Meuse-Argonne in World War I, to Vietnam and the present overseas contingency operations, the National Guard has responded time and again to global conflicts. At home, the Washington National Guard has responded to massive disasters so devastating they can be characterized in a name: St. Helens, Katrina, Oso, and now COVID. Washington Air National Guardsmen were tested like never before in 2020. As we continue our state and federal missions, our airmen have been part of the largest domestic response since World War II.
Just this past year, we mobilized nearly 30 Bigfoot airmen to help staff food banks during COVID-19, to fight devastating wildfires across the state this summer, to staff the state unemployment office during the COVID surge, and to provide security for the citizens of Washington during civil unrest. As critical as both the federal mission and the state mission are, neither one could happen without our support team. These are the unsung heroes of our Western air defense sector. This crew keeps our incredible power plant running 24/7. It troubleshoots and fixes thousands of radios and radars across the nation each year. It defends our cyber networks, it manages multi-million construction projects, and it provides a host of critical maintenance and logistics services to literally keep the lights on and the radios and radars working, even when nobody else's are.
So we were just a hand crew just mopping up places that had already burned through. So the fire went through and burned out a lot of fields and forests and stuff like that. But oftentimes there'll be a lot of heat still in the ground or in roots or in bushes and things like that. And so they have to have hand crews go in and check everything that's already been burned, just to make sure that it's not going to flare back up again if the wind changes, getting all that down, making sure it wasn't going to start back up again.
It's an exciting time to be a Washington Air National Guardsman, and a killer time to be part of the Western Air Defense Sector Bigfoot team, defending America's airspace today and shaping victory in tomorrow's fight.
When COVID hit this year, one of the things that we ran into right away throughout our communities were all the volunteers that would normally be helping out in places like food banks, they had to go home because a lot of those volunteers are elderly, they're a vulnerable population when it comes to something like a pandemic, and they weren't there anymore. At the same time that was happening, we had this sort of overwhelming unemployment that was sweeping through our economy and our people and our citizens at the same time, so the need for food in food banks went through the roof.
It's interesting, especially starting from a food bank where it's just we need to give, people are losing their jobs or a lot of things going on. Let's just make sure people are fed, and then going to case investigations where I'm interviewing, gathering data for the state so they know what to do with this data, right, in regards to reopening and things like that for the future. And then moving to, entering negative COVID test, and then moving to making test kits for testing of COVID. And now I'm, part of the vaccination team. So to me, that it's been really interesting, and I'm really thankful that I've got to move to so many different sites, and experience a lot of different things.
I spent most of the year in awe of the airmen of the 194th Wing, because anything they were asked, they stepped up and not only did what they were asked, but they did well beyond that. And so it was just phenomenal, and it made me appreciate doing whatever I could for every one of them more than I ever did before.
You look at the past year domestically, and what has been asked of our men and women here at the 141st Air Refueling Wing to support our neighbor nation, it's been incredible. And you could pick a month, any month of the past year, any exercise, any operation, capital region, vaccination sites, food banks, domestic operations, wildland fires, whether they were the couple here in the state that we activated for, or in support with the RC-26 throughout the entire western region. We were the go-to source last year for wildland fires. We've had well over 80,000 tests that we have administered in just our wing alone here in the state. And we've numbered almost 500 of our airmen, individual airmen, not 500 total, adding up a couple here and there. 500 individual airmen have been on some sort of a 502F or some sort of a domestic response for COVID operations in the past year.
It's been a great opportunity to come out here and to assist the local community in performing multiple tests since we've been here the past couple of weeks. It's federal, state, and just the local community coming together to really address this issue of COVID-19. It's been a fun experience. We have a fun team, fun crew. We have a good time. We have a great attitude. And it's been an amazing time.
We never rest. We're on the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm incredibly honored to be part of their team and to be able to represent them as their wing commander.
I believe that being an air working with the Army is very beneficial on the whole operations, because a lot of it is actually optics. You show that this is like unity. It's not just about who's air and who's Army. It's about this is the National Guardsmen, and whatever you do, whatever AFSC and whatever branch you're in, we're here for you. I cannot be more proud and more humbled at the same time to be part of an organization that is way bigger than myself, than everything that I know. And even though I miss being boots on ground, it's still amazing to see all my fellow soldiers and airmen give the best that they have in every mission that we send them to. Some of them are voluntary, some are involuntary, but they have all this positivity that, yeah, we can do this. I like that can-do attitude.
I'm impressed that despite all of the uncertainty this last year brought to our team and their families, we did exactly what we needed to do to ensure the Washington Air National Guard was a source of strength and stability for our folks. Finally, I asked our team to keep focused on the things that unite us as professionals. Let's all use these collective experiences to learn more about each other and make our organization better for it. Thank you again for the historic, tremendous effort.